bright future in gymnastics.
And the fans here tonight in Haines City, Florida, love her performance. She says she likes gymnastics because it's fun, and she made it look like fun.
Well, fun is what it's all about. And when you have fun, you're going to do a great job just like she did tonight.
An absolute adorable little gymnast.
One to watch, coming up at 96.
Jim Strata Schools in Virginia Beach. Let's take a look at her score. This should be a good one.
She really only made one major error in the floor routine, and that was not completing the triple twist. But the level of difficulty, I don't think the judges will look at it too much. Oh, and I was right, a 9.85, 0.15 from perfection. What do you think, Jeff?
I'm speechless. I mean, incredible. At the age of 10, to have that kind of poise and grace and discipline and already have a control of the routine like she shows, I think it's a sign of a true champion.
Johnny Holiday, Christy Kraft, and Jeff Nepper were at the National Team Gymnastics Championships, Greenleaf Resort in Haines City, Florida. When we come back, we'll have a chance to take a look at 16-year-old Dominique Dawes after these messages. Just a few minutes ago, we saw Alexis Bryan from the Jim Strata Schools, Virginia Beach, come up with a 9.85 of the floor exercises. She's been competing for only 3 years. She's standing by right now with Jeff Nepper.
Alexis, is this your first USAIGC national competition?
Yes, I think so.
But you've had many other national competitions, I understand from your coach. Can you tell me about what competitions, national competitions you've been in and how you've done?
I was in the American Classic, and I competed as a junior elite, and I won floor.
Congratulations. Now I have to ask, are you 10 years old?
Yes.
And when did you start gymnastics?
When I was 7.
So you've only been doing it 3 years?
Yes.
Okay, and what made you want to start gymnastics?
The people on TV.
You mean like who? Do you remember who it was?
Mary Lou Renton, and I don't remember any other people.
So what do you think now that after you saw them and now you're doing gymnastics, what do you think of how it's turned out for you?
I think I like it a lot, and when I'm in the Olympics, the people on TV can watch me, and then they can start gymnastics.
Well, good luck. With that kind of determination, I think you'll make it. So we're going to see you in 96 in Atlanta?
I hope so.
Well, Jeff and Christy with a 9.85, well on her way, isn't she?
She absolutely is. And with determination like that, there's nothing that's going to stop her.
Now let's go back to the vault for 16-year-old. Remember the 1992 U.S. Olympic team, Dominique Dawes. Her coach, Kelly Hill, right there speaking to her. They're from Gaithersburg, Maryland, and as Christy told you at the top of the show, with a gymnast like Dominique Dawes and the team, certainly very much in this race to perhaps win this national championship.
Well, this is on the vault. That's one of Dominique's best events. She does a round-off entry, layout with a full twist, a Yurchenko full, stop landing. You know, she could score a 10 on this event. That was...
it could be a 10.
It
looked
awesome.
Stuck.
What can you say?
Awesome, awesome.
Take a look at it once again.
Now watch, the thing is she goes in backwards to the horse. It's totally blind. And then she pushes off somersault and a full twist.
Now, Jeff, that takes hours and hours of practice.
Absolutely. This vault is they train for probably a full year before they ever even compete it because it's such a dangerous vault.
It doesn't look dangerous when Dominique does it. Let's look with Dominique on her second vault.
Almost identical. Boy.
I tell you, she has it down pat. I don't know which one was better, but we're going to wait for the score, and we might see a 10. But I definitely.
Did you see any deductions on that vault? It was outstanding. I think it could be a 10.
I agree. No form break, plenty of distance from the horse.
It is a 10.
And it is a perfect score.
And when is the last time, Jeff, you or Christy saw a 10 in the vault?
The 10, probably the 84 Olympics and Mary Lou Renton. She needed the 10 in the vault to win the gold medal, and she did.
Look how nonchalant Dominique. Just another day on the vault. That's all. No big deal. Just undo those wrist things and let's go on with it.
But she has to also at the same time keep her composure because she still has 3 more events. But
is there a certain, as we look at Carrie Monahan from the Atlantic Coast team, Carrie from Camden, New Jersey, and the Atlantic Coast team operates out of Sewell, New Jersey. Her favorite gymnast in this entire competition you just saw, Dominique Dawes. And that's really a tremendous credit to another team member of another team.
Absolutely. And she's got quite a lot of talent herself. Let's watch her on bars.
Carrie begins a routine with one of the most difficult releases on the uneven bars, a clear hip into a reverse hack, also known as a Hindorf, followed immediately by a Ginger overshoot. That was beautifully done. She's no slouch on this event. She's finishing up, preparing for a dismount, 2 giant swings into a double back dismount.
Wow.
Small hop on the landing. You know, I think she's been watching her idol do gymnastics because you can see some of the same spark and the same style there. It was a very well executed routine for Carrie.
Carrie is 17 years of age. And in slow motion, take a look at it once again.
Now watch, she's going to change her direction. She's going to start circling the bar backwards, and then she's going to open up and do a reverse hecht right there over the bar. It's one of the most difficult skills being done in gymnastics on bars.
And a very, very happy Carrie Monahan.
You know, it's really fun for a lot of... This meet is great fun for the girls because this is the only chance they have to do a team competition. And there's her score at 9.825.
Not too far from perfection. 1/10 for that little hop on the landing, who knows?
Could have been close to a 10.
The landing is so very important too, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You can get deducted if you take a step, it's a 10th. If it's 2 steps, you have 2/10 off.
Now to the balance beam. That's Kimberly Small for the K-Rons out of Burke, Virginia.
Kimberly mounts with a very difficult element, a round-off layout step out right onto the balance beam. She had a small break, but she's hanging in there, aerial cartwheel, setting up for another skill, a standing layout step out.
Marlon Stanovich and, Tammy Biggs are the coaches of the K-Ron Gym Center. K-Ron Gym Center. Wow.
And this kid has done 5 elements in the first 2 passes, all of which are very, very difficult.
And she doesn't look like she's going to stop yet.
Kim is only 12 years of age. She was born in Seoul, South Korea, now living in Fairfax, Virginia. We asked her her favorite event and why. She said none, because they all feel the same.
There's that full turn. That's a hard one for a lot of gymnasts, and it is a requirement. And she lost a 10th on that bobble there.
USGF Level 9 regional team member for the Nationals, and USGF Virginia Level 9 state champion in the 12 to 14 age bracket.
Kim is working really well. She has a few breaks, but she has lots of difficulty. Oh, 2 flip-flops into a double twisting layout dismount. She was a little bit low on the landing, but, you know, that was a routine full of difficulty. And most importantly, she stayed on.
Now here's the tumbling series, Christy.
Okay, she's doing a back handspring into a layout step out into another back handspring.
Now what in that series, I've always found it amazing. If in the middle of that tumbling series they're off a little bit, what can they do to keep it on the beam? Do they have to stop the series, or?
You know, when you're working the balance beam, it's not a situation that you can say, okay, I'm a little crooked, so I'm not going to go. She has to be sure, and that's why gymnasts practice so many hours every single day to make sure at that critical moment that they're able to do the skills.
How many beam routines do you think she would do in one workout?
Oh, I would guess somewhere between 5 and 15.
And you're talking about some hours, aren't you?
6 days a week and year-round. We're not a sport like basketball or baseball that has a season. Gymnasts train year-round, year after year.
And her score's a 9.475, probably due to the bobble in the beginning and 1 in the middle. But a good score, very respectable.
I think they'll take it. That's a nice score on the balance beam.
But she did stay on.
Is next up in the floor exercises. And Sharon is representing the All-American team from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She's from Salem, South Dakota.
And this is the first year their team has been in the National Team Championships. Here comes her first tumbling pass. A nice triple full. She ended a little shy, which will be a 10th deduction. That's a lot of twisting to do at one time.
What are you looking for in this now? You're looking for the form, the perfect landing?
Perfect landing, a lot of dance elements during the dance.
How about projection, Jeff, as the gymnast projects to the audience and the judges?
Absolutely. The judges are always looking for the head up, the chest up, a smile on the face. It always helps the score.
And the floor exercise is really, it's a combination of the tremendous tumbling skills along with being able to have wonderful moves in your dance movement.
Absolutely. It's a switch of mental set. For the tumbling, you have to go all out and be really aggressive, and then you have to do a transition into the dance elements where you have poise, and discipline, and refinement.
Favorite gymnast is Shannon Miller, and Sarah's been working in gymnastics now for 8 years.
A double full dismount, Christy.
You know, it was a nice, clean routine. I don't think that it has the level of difficulty that we'll see maybe from a Dominique Dawes, but it was a very well-executed routine with the triple twist in the first pass. She begins from a 10-0, and I would expect a good score.
Sarah Nitz, the All-American Gymnastics Academy in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Let's look early when she had just a little bit of a problem here.
Right, and this is the triple full. Now, she's supposed to complete the twist totally all the way around, and you can see she just finished about 2 3/4 and didn't quite get it all the way around. So there'll be a 10th deduction for that. So now the gymnasts are marching to their next event while we wait for her score on floor.
We have seen one perfect 10 so far. That's been recorded by Dominique Dawes from Hills Angels in Gaithersburg, Maryland, 9.65 for Sarah Nitz. We'll be back at Haines City, Florida in just a moment. Stay with us. More gymnastic competition on the way. National Team Championships, the American Twisters have the lead.
That's amazing, and it's going to be tight, neck and neck, I think. It's already starting out that way between Hills and American, and also the third place.
And 5, 6, 7, and 8, as you see, Jim Strata, Golden Bear, K-Ron, and the All-American team.
I think one thing to remember, you saw New England was right in there, only 2/10 out of the lead, and they were former national team champions 3 years ago.
You know, Jeff, the Hills Angels tallied a 10 and a 9.9, and the gymnast who came up with a 9.9 is this girl, Marianne Esposito. She's also excellent on bars. Yesterday she had a little problem with her dismount. She's doing a terrific job. Here's her dismount. Oh no, and that's a tough break for them. They're going to have to count that score of a 9.35 for Marianne Esposito.
That's a shame. That's such a tough dismount. You don't see that dismount done at all. It's very rare.
It's one of the most difficult dismounts, and you have to remember going into that event, she was just 1/10 of a point behind her teammate Dominique Dawes, and that pretty much put her out of the competition, barring an error by Dominique.
From Brooklyn, New York, is now working with the Hills Angels Club in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Now we move along to Kim DeHaan from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She's 18 years of age. And Kim with the All-Americans from Sioux Falls on the ball.
Another handspring front. She stuck it, meaning once she hit the mat, she didn't move, but it was a low landing, a deep knee bend, which will probably deduct for her.
Yeah, that was a deep squat. And if you look back and remember the other handspring fronts that we saw, that she did have some height. She had the rotation, but she wasn't flipping fast enough to land upright.
Right. So she was just a little shy in her rotation, consequently the deep knee bend. So I think...
Go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say, I think probably what her coach told her was to try to get her heels up faster on the board, which would give her more rotation into the front somersault.
And now her second vault. Kim also has a full ride scholarship at the University of Nebraska.
That's unfortunate. You know, her run was actually pretty good that time. She had a lot of speed going into the horse, but she tucked early on the horse, which caused her a little bit of that very valuable rotation. If you look back at the replay, you can see she has an excellent run.
Where did she go wrong here now, Christy? What happened?
Now, if you look, she hits the board well. She's going onto the horse. Now, you'll see her knees are bent before she actually leaves the horse. She should leave the horse in a straight position or a handspring before she executes the front somersault.
Because she's cheating herself of height from the horse by bending her knees early.
And a 9.52 for Kim DeHaan.